Lovell, welcome to the cave.
It's good to be here, man.
How's your day going?
It's going fantastic, man. The weather is really nice outside. Actually, it's very it was cold before, and now it's just nice and warm. And I'm just gonna go for a walk. I got my tea with me.
Yeah. So, man, the listeners, the viewers, I've seen you on Starz, Power Book 2, Ghost. It's a spinoff from Power, man. That's got to be a pretty exciting project for you.
Oh, it's amazing, man. It's phenomenal to be a part of. It's a huge thing. It's something that I think, as a body of work will, stand the test of time in history.
I can't wait till we dive into that more, man. But I was doing some research on you. I know you're from born and raised in Toronto. Like, how did you fall in love with acting? What made you go for it?
Man, when I was growing up, I watched Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Will Smith was my guy. Like everything he did, I was on. Like, Men in Black, Independence Day, whatever, you name it, I was watching it. And I was in high school, and I was, either between track or my love of acting. I got started in the 8th grade. It was kind of nurtured in the 8th grade, I should say. And yeah, man, I went to school, and my guidance counselor was like, you could either do, I wanted to get into astronomy, a little weird enough. And I was like, but I love acting so much. And he said, well, you can do both. You can, go to school for astronomy, go to York University, whatever have you, and go study astronomy, and do acting part-time. But just know that the work you're not putting in, someone is putting that twice. Wow. And that was kind of all I needed. I was like, I'm going to go act.
That's awesome. So what? So after high school, you went to, where'd you go? You said?
Went to Humber College.
And did you major in acting right away, or was that like a minor? Like what a?
I mean, yeah, it's an acting program and it's a 2-year program. It's very focused and streamlined on acting in the business. Mm-hmm. Get an agent afterwards. They help you get your demo reel together, your resume together, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, like it was the perfect place, to be honest.
Right. So I gotta know, like, when you told your parents this is what you were gonna go and do, what was like their reaction at first?
They were cool. My parents were cool. My parents, honestly, when I was a kid, I was telling them that I wanted to fight. I wanted to be a fighter growing up. Do this. I wanted to be a cop. I wanted to be a fireman. And they were all like not really that for it. But when I told them that I wanted to be an actor, they just kind of gave me all the energy. My dad, they always knew I was loud and big and extra as a kid, so they were like, yeah, this is perfect.
Was there a backup plan just in case if you didn't think you were going to make it? Like any other, like like some people, like they go into acting but then they also try to, like, maybe I'll pay attention to directing or something else behind the scenes also?
Not at all, man. I wanted to act, and that was it. Like, even to this day,
it's awesome.
People are like, yeah, I want to produce, I want to like direct and write. I'm like, I just want to act. If I write, I want to be in the project. If if I'm directing, it's because I want to get the project made. Like, that's it. Like, what I mean? Like, out of necessity, I just want to act,
Yeah. So you've been doing this for a few years now, and when I was doing some research on you, I noticed you were like in Slasher, Second Gen, just to name a few projects. What's been like one of your favorite projects to work on before the show that you're on now?
I loved working on Second Gen. It was so much fun. Coroner was really nice because I got to, work with some amazing actors in the city and play a doctor. And that was the last project I got to do before my grandfather passed, God rest his soul. And so you got to see me as a forensic pathologist, which was, but I'd say probably my favorite. Actually, I really loved my character on The Coroner. I loved Dwayne Allen. It was something about being able to play that doctor, and he was humorous, and he was faithful. He had a faith practice. He was Christian, and I love to be able to share that through my work. And they really took care and kind of drew from my personality and who I was in order to make this character. So it was really, really kind of them. They really gave me that space. I love working on Slasher, but it was really, really, really cold. It's probably the coldest ever working on that. That was crazy cold.
And you grew up in Canada where it's cold.
I'm not cold all the time.
Yeah.
But but it was cold that year shooting that, man. It was like some of the coldest weather we had. We were shooting up north too, like a little bit further up north than here. And it was like we had to do one shot where it was like outside in like a wind tunnel silo kind of thing. The wind chill was making it even colder. Man, it was cold. like to the point where like there's a rule in Canada, like that if it gets too cold, I think it's like -40, then you have to stop.
Okay.
We were almost there. Like they were considering like maybe we should, stop. But it hadn't breached. I think the rule is -40 something, and it hadn't breached that. So we didn't stop. And I was like, look, man, just get in, get out.
You mentioned your role on Second Gen. Everybody, I was like, this big difference between the role that you're on now, though.
Oh, absolutely, man. Second Gen was really fun. They had me playing a pretty boy, a good love interest, and I was like, this is fun. I get to it's comedy, working with the Sam and Amanda, and getting to just play with them, and they're amazing creatives, they're amazing writers, and just like they have a great head on their shoulders, and they're a great team when it comes to putting something together. So I was just really happy to be a part of that for as long as I was. I auditioned for the first season actually, and I was really, really, really excited to be a part of it. And I didn't get it. So when season 2 came around, they were like, "Hey, Lovell, you want to jump in on this?" I was like, "Absolutely!" Like, because it was just so it's just so fun. It's just so fun, and like everyone was just chill and kind, and yeah, man, it was a really good time.
So you get season 2 coming up on Power, book 2 Ghosts. I want to hear about your audition for this, man. Did you go for Dru at first, or was there a different character?
I went for Dru. My lovely lady, Kiana, was my audition partner initially. We did the self-tape together in my basement. That's where we do all our self-tapes, or all my self-tapes anyways. And I knew that I wanted to focus on the artistic aspect of Dru. I don't think I knew anything else other than I didn't know like even what the project was really. Like I thought I had heard that they were doing a prequel series, so I thought they were doing that, and like these were all code names, So auditioning for Dru, I was like, oh, Dru might be, I don't know, like could be, James St. Patrick, for all I know, So he was an artist. What I loved about Dru, the moment I read the breakdown, was that he was an artist. He's an artist first and foremost, and he has this bond with his sister, and she loves to play basketball and all that. And so doing the audition, I wanted to focus on this thing that I'm drawing, because they made it very clear that this was, of utmost importance. And we did a take, and it was cool. And then Kiana said, "Draw the most beautiful thing you've ever seen." And I was like, all right. So I'm locked in, drawing it. We're having this scene. I don't even give a damn about what's going on here, because I'm just trying to draw. And I got that call back, and we went out to LA. And it was the first time I was ever I flew out to LA, stayed at my manager's place. And it was like everything about that experience in LA was so beautiful. Even the audition process was so beautiful and so fulfilling as an actor, that I walked out of there being like, if I don't get this part, I still enjoyed everything about this process. So I don't feel like, oh man, then I'm leaving things on the table, and what I mean? I left it all, Anthony Hemingway was in the room, Courtney was in the room, Shanna was in the room, and some others. And we just got to play and do a couple of takes and just play. It was just play, Made me feel like they really trusted me as an actor, and it was just fun. And then I got that call, and I don't remember if I cried or not. I'm just on the record, I didn't.
So when you booked the role, and then you knew you were gonna go and play this character, how did you prepare for it? And how much more information did they give you after you booked it?
They just gave us the entire season 1 arc of what we're gonna go through. And for me, I'm not a when it comes to visual art, like painting or drawing, whatever, I'm not the most adept at that. So I went and got some classes at the what are they called? not little Picassos. It's like something Picassos in New York.
Okay.
And they're really cool. My teacher's name was Phoebe. She's amazing. And we went to the Brooklyn Library. No, sorry, the Brooklyn Museum, and went to the big botanical garden in Brooklyn, and would look at stuff and draw it. And it was just great. Like, we just got to draw some nice stuff, and I got to impress myself. I was like, I didn't know I could do this. You know? But yeah, it was really cool, man. And I just wanted to, like, you know, feel that I can actually communicate through that visual medium the way Dru is so capable of doing. And then it gave me that feeling of working so hard at something and loving something so much. And then, you know, by the end of the season, that gets taken away in some capacity. And so that heartbreak and that feeling, I got to fully embody and fully understand and embrace, because I spent the time doing it.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Was there any challenges playing this character?
Challenge. I say the only challenge was looking pretty. It's hard to look good all the time sometimes, man. Like, especially the way I eat. Like, I love food. I love dessert. I love sugar. So I'm like trying to, like, I got these nude scenes and stuff, and I'm like, let me make sure that my body's tight and right. So I got a trainer. You know what I mean? But I'm still like, I can't keep the diet up. So I'm like eating these brownies and cookies all the time, and trying to, like, keep flexing hard and tight for the scene. So I think, you know, doing Dru that justice, because Dru is a very good looking man. And so I want to make sure I honor that. And, you know, and go into it with, like, fully prepared and understanding that, you know, a part of his journey is understanding fashion, understanding his aesthetic, and understanding, you know. So that was probably the biggest challenge. That is the biggest challenge, because today.
Is there anything you would change about him? And what do you love about this character?
I love Dru's honesty. I love Dru's wisdom. He's very patient, smart, and, like, intellectually smart, street smart, and I love that he's open, you know, about sexuality, and about he has that circle around him that he can trust. Those are probably my favorite aspects of Dru. There's one thing I could change about Dru. It probably would be sometimes I want to braid my hair for Dru. So I probably think, like, sometimes I want to get braids, but then I'm like, I don't know, it's too much work. You know, so
you gotta push it. You gotta push it. Just show up on set one day, see what they say to you.
Yeah, right. Then I gotta keep it like that. So, you know, like, all that work, I'm like, I don't know. But I think probably that's the one thing I would change, if anything. Like, I think Dru, like, I love Dru so much. There's nothing I really changed about him. Personality wise, I love him. I love that he has that fire underneath. I would probably change under what star sign he was born. Because to me, Dru's a Libra, and I'd probably make him a Gemini or Aquarius if I had a choice.
How was it filming the second season with, like, all the COVID protocols and everything? How different was it for you?
You know, our production did a really good job holding everybody down, making sure everybody was safe and healthy, and, you know, the actors did a really great job of adhering to the protocols, taking care. And we, you know, our days weren't pushed that much longer from my knowledge. But, you know, I'm an actor, so I don't know what's going on production side. It didn't seem like it pushed things too far, too tough. And the actors, you know, getting to interact and getting to play with each other in the scene is of the utmost importance. So as long as we're doing that, I feel like we don't care. You know, we'll wear the mask, we'll do whatever. Yeah, as long as we're keeping each other safe and, you know, looking out for each other and looking out for ourselves. Most of the time, they really emphasize staying home as much as possible. So that is no problem for me. absolutely not a problem for me. Like, my house is nice. I got a nice, comfortable couch and a cool TV. I got my games. I'm not leaving the house. People got to drag me out the house.
There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. So the show's on Starz. Last I read, November, right? Is that right for the second season?
November 21st.
So what's next for you after that? Any other projects that you can tell us or give us a little hint about?
I'm working on something here in the city. I'm actually back home in Toronto now. I'm working on something here. Currently, I'm working on a film here that will take me until the middle of the fall, and I'll be going back to New York. And I'm not sure when we start to work on season 3, but God willing, it's going to be soon.
That's awesome, man. Lastly, man, how can they find you on social media? The viewers and the listeners. I'm on IG, Lovell Adams-Gray. Straight up. I used to have a different name, but I'm like, nah, just keep it straight. Lovell Adams-Gray. No, like, I'm the only one. So, like, let me that down. All right, man. Lovell, this was great. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, Elias.